I would like to call the March 20th, 2024 public meeting concerning Texas Academic Performance Report to order. It is 5:31 p.m. There is a quorum present. Notice of this meeting has been posted in a time and manner required by law. Mr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Cliff Williams.
Present.
Scott Carson.
Present.
Charles Perry.
Present.
Kyle Hagemeyer.
Present.
Ms. Paulette Traylor.
Present.
Ms. Nikita Lagway.
Present.
My name is Chad Jones. Thank you.
This time I'd like to turn the floor over to John.
John Valiente. Yep.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Hagemeyer, Board, Mr. Tom Crow, Sweet Carol. We're going to present tonight on the TAPER report. It's a report we have to definitely report out to the community every year. It's really a compilation of different disaggregated data, student, economic, EcoDis, teachers and different programs that we have in the district. Let me just log on here so I can see a little better.
Could you speak into the microphone?
Yes, sir, I can do that.
It's on.
Of course, the TAPER report discusses the district accountability under 3 domains. And Domain 1 is student achievement, Domain 2 is academic growth, and Domain 3 is closing the gaps. Summary of 2023 accountability updates. As you guys know, the A through F accountability reports, the school report cards are delayed pending judicial ruling and decisions from the 88th legislature during a special session. Student performance is the only comparable that did not change in accountability. Some of the changes, as you can see, that represent a refresh to the system. As a result, 2023 ratings will be different and not comparable to 2022 or earlier. District ratings will be calculated by weighing each campus's rating based on their 3 to 12 enrollment. In student achievement, high schools and K-12s have increased standards for college, career, and military readiness and graduation rates. In student progress, a new look at year-to-year change captures growth for more students and includes learning acceleration for those kids that were HB 4545, now HB 1416. Closing the gaps is aligned with updated long-term targets, and scoring now focuses on the student groups most in need. We're going to review our Domain 1 district star performance. As a district, this goes back a year data, 22-23. If you can look here, Willis ISD through 3rd and 4th grade reading and math, the green means that we are above or equal to the state as far as star scores. 3rd grade math and reading looks pretty good. 4th grade, we're close, but we are making improvements this year. If you look at 5th grade science and 6th grade math and reading for Willis ISD, there is definitely more green. We're doing a little bit better than we did in 22, but we still have a little bit to catch up with the state. All right, 7th and 8th grade, you can see the green on there again. It's an improvement from 2022. So I'm not very good at multitasking there. All right, go over one more there. Okay, if you look at the high school here, the high school has really made a lot of improvement from 22 to 23. There's a lot more green on there as far as state scores. Still not where the state is, but if you look at their progress throughout this year, we're pretty confident that the high school is really picking up steam, and you'll definitely see a lot of improvement here next year as I stand up here. Okay, this is going to be Domain 1 individual campus performances. This is Parmley Elementary, and if you see Parmley Elementary compared to how they did in 2022, they're continuing to make a lot of progress and growth there. Not equal to the state in every category, but they're pretty close. Okay, C.C. Hardy. C.C. Hardy made a little bit of progress in 4th grade math. C.C. Hardy is behind a little bit in some of those areas. We are going to provide more support, and we have been providing more support to C.C. Hardy. Fossler and her team have really started to move the needle when we look at data for this year, so we are expected to see some significant growth there for next year as well. We'll look at Turner. Turner has also done a pretty good job there. Some good green there. There's still some areas where we need to grow, and Dr. Hall and her team are continuing to grow, and their scores have also looked pretty good this year. Okay, Canyon Elementary has really made some growth compared to 2022. They've really, if you look at reading, it's grown a little bit there. Math has grown. 5th grade reading has grown, so they continue to grow as a campus. Science has a little bit of work, as most school districts do in science. It's definitely been different at the elementary level. Okay, Metter. Metter is doing very well. Green across the board. They are exceeding most state levels as far as accountability scores. In science, they're right there with the state. Like I said, science is pretty tough across most districts. The next one will be Lagway Elementary, and Lagway as well is doing very well across the board, exceeding or surpassing state standards. And in science, we're 1 point above the state there, and again, looking to make some headway this year. Lynn Lucas, as you guys know, Lynn Lucas has been a priority campus for us under the leadership of Dr. Moore. That school has made some significant progress this year. We shared some data with you all a couple of weeks ago, and they've made a great progress. We are expecting them to be equal or surpassing some of the state standards next year as well. But some significant growth for them in social studies, 7th grade math, and 6th grade reading. Okay, Brabham Middle School has also made some significant growth, so Dr. Price and her team are continuing just to move those teachers and move those students. Bettering the 2022 scores, so they've done a really good job. Not there yet on state standards, but they are moving the needle. Really proud of the high school and where this team has come. If you look at there, they have surpassed or equal to where they were in 2022. Some of those numbers are pretty significant as far as growth, and they're starting to equal state standards on at least U.S. history and pretty close in the rest of the subjects. All right, the next domain here is college and career readiness under domain 1, military readiness as well. The high school, a big chunk of their accountability as well as the district's accountability comes from CCMR. Okay, if you look at, and this information goes back about 2 years, right? So it's delayed a couple of years. But if you look at the class of 2022 and where we were and where the state was, you see we are well below them, right? And also in class of 2021. Now, I want to take into account that Willis High School did not include the PSAT, SAT, or ACT at the high school, which contribute to a large number of the points based on accountability for CCMR. Starting last year, they have been incorporating that, and there's been a significant, huge increase in improvement in the number of kids that are taking those exams with regards to accountability. Okay, if you look at how they rate us here, college readiness, TSI math, and TSI ELA and math are really our junior teachers and senior teachers prep those kids, those level kids to take the TSI, which is a college entrance exam. What the state was finding out that too many students across the state were entering college, but they were below in math or in language arts. So they were taking remedial courses when they were entering college. Basically the TSI in those college prep classes that we have at the high school are to prep our kids so when they start college, they're not starting in remedial classes, but they're starting in level once they get to university or community college. This is just CCMR from 2023. It includes some of our graduates. Now, this data is only reported for students that went to in-state schools. So if they went to out-of-state schools, those numbers are not reflected in here. Four-year public university was 65 graduates. Two-year was 108 out of 450 graduates back in 2022-23. I'm sorry, based on the class of 22. Okay, you see for the career military readiness for 2021, we had 21.6 students, so about 22 students enrolled in the military. Last year we had 22, and then as far as industry-based certifications, which is a huge component of CCMR, there's been a large increase in our students receiving industry-based certifications as well. You see the growth here. This year, or excuse me, last year, we had 458 students receive industry-based certifications. That is 128 more than 21-22, so that is a significant increase. 128 more students received IBCs. And we're also adding new courses to allow students to receive IBCs every year. Texas College Bridge program was implemented during the 21-22 school year as a college prep. Kind of spoke about that earlier. I'm taking the TSI and college prep to prepare those students for university courses. And so our students take the college bridge exam. And this year so far, we are at 316 seniors have completed those exams, which is an increase of nearly 70 kids or 80 kids there from last year. And again, this really helps accountability as well. Domain 1 graduation rate, just remember graduation rates are 2 years behind, and we do them on 4, 5, and 6 years longitudinal cohorts. But we've been maintaining there a good graduation rate of 94 in class of 22, 94.4, and the state average is 89.7. We are looking at an increase this year. And a lot of that is because also with the increased attendance, it is related to graduation. Annual growth, that's domain 2 under accountability. Okay, grades 4 and 5, I do want to remind y'all, we're in kindergarten and pre-K during COVID. So a lot of these early students missed foundational lessons and instruction that they needed at that age. So kindergarten and first grade is our 4th grade and 5th grade students now. And that data is not just a Willis ISD issue. It is across the state. When you look at cohorts, 4th and 5th grade numbers are lower everywhere across the state. Many classes were online where there was only remote learning. A lot of kids, if you guys remember that, a lot of kids didn't log on. That was a issue across many districts, and prior districts that I worked in was an issue as well, try to get kids online. Once they were back, they are starting to make progress and close those gaps. If you see here on the domain 2 for annual growth at the high school, algebra and English 1 has really started the trend in the right direction. Annual growth is calculated in English language arts and reading and math subjects areas for 4th grade and above. The accelerated learner growth is those kids that were under HB 4545 or 1416. And those kids are counted in accountability as well. If you look at our numbers there for 4th grade and 5th grade, the district was at 32%, so we are a little under what the state average is. HB 1416, HB 45, This is the percentage of students who fell under those categories who passed STAR. So 32% of our kids under HB 1416 passed STAR this past year. Again, the accelerated learners, we are a little bit under there in grade 6 and grade 7. Grade 7 is almost equal to the state. We're a few points behind, but if you looked at the data earlier from Dr. Moore and Dr. Price's schools, they are closing that gap. Here, the high school's in a similar situation. The high school is in a similar situation. We did outscore the state here at 28% of the 14-16 students passed STAR, and we're pretty similar with the state and the other subjects. Domain 3 is the last domain in accountability. For student groups evaluated, all students are evaluated, the 2 lowest race or ethnicity groups, and a high focus group. High focus for us is economically disadvantaged, special ed, emerging bilinguals, foster, homeless, or migrant students are accounted in there. Bilingual education, as you guys know, across the state, the number of EBs has really exploded exponentially. Our population has increased with lots of newcomers. ELA and reading, our numbers went down a little bit last year compared to 2022, and that's with an increase of students that are coming to us that have never been to school before. From Central and South American countries, a lot of those, also some Southeastern Asian, actually just across the world. If you go to Willis schools, you're going to hear a lot of different languages other than Spanish. Our special ed numbers here, there are more rigorous participation requirements for special ed students now, but our students are pretty much holding their own there in reading and math. So they're doing a pretty good job. If we're looking at the high school ELC subjects, if you look at there for our special ed kids are doing very well as far as compared to where they were. There's a lot of significant growth there in all the ELC tested subjects for our special ed students. All right, state of schools. This is not part of accountability, but we have to go over it per state law. District early childhood literacy and math proficiency goals in kindergarten. So we do this assessment here, the percent of kindergarten students that score on grade level or above in reading on the TXKEA reading instrument will increase. So this is our goal from 43 to 44%, and for math it's 44 to 46%. And these charts kind of track where our students are at. Here in red, you see that it is our Spanish students are performing really well in math. And then in reading, the English students are performing a lot better. Again, this is the same exam that just is for pre-K students because they do not have TEKS. They have guidelines that we have to follow. The violent or criminal incidents reported for 22-23, the number is high there for 28 for Willis, 16 for Lucas, and 1. If you guys remember that THC is not coded as a controlled substance anymore, it was coded that in the years past, but the state changed that, so we are not a dangerous school, or those incidents have been recoded. New this year for Willis ISD, substance use prevention, we have any students found with nicotine on campus are required to take 2 courses while they are in ISS. One course is addiction cycle and vaping awareness. All 6th grade students participated in state-approved substance use prevention programs. It's called All-Stars. All 6th to 8th grade students will participate in a fentanyl awareness presentation called Unintended Consequences and substance use prevention webpage under the Willis ISD Guidance and Counseling website. These are the programs we offer or resources we offer to campuses, students, and staff. At the elementary, PE coaches are implementing anti-vaping curriculum for our 5th grade students, parent education videos, and education posters on all secondary campuses. Emotional intelligence, it's just teaching kids social skills. Elementary, we still implement Character Strong. The campuses have morning meetings with daily lessons taught by the teachers. Counselors provide guidance lessons. Morning announcements are used to support concepts that are taught in the classroom. At the middle school, we still incorporate Character Strong lessons delivered at set times at both campuses. And then also we have the digital citizenship, sorry, I can't pronounce that, with specific curriculum. At the high school, twice a week, lessons are introduced with student-created videos and supported by Character Strong material as well. We also have digital citizenship specific curriculum and the Wildcat Wellness lessons once a week. And the mental health resources are available for all grade levels. Again, at the elementary, we have Quaver, Ready and Why Try, lessons taught by the counselors to help our students who are in need. At the middle school, we have BASE. There are online courses to address lagging emotional and behavioral skills in kids, and also used in ISS classrooms as assigned by counselors. At the high school, we also use BASE, and it's used in ISS as well, and also small groups with counselors. DAEP programming as supports for our students who are transitioning from alternative to school back to home campus. We have Tri-County, Resilience for Youth, Y-Tri, BASE programs as I mentioned earlier, mental health group sessions, school counselor support and transition back to campus so they meet with all students coming back from DAEPs. And of course we have individual counseling from our counselors and then also some of our intervention counselors that are employed in the district. Program requirements when a student has substance abuse for prevention and recovery. They have sessions at DAP. We have 4 group sessions with a WISD interventionist. We also have prevention education sessions with Tri-County, individual counseling sessions with Willis ISD interventionist, 2 individual sessions with school counselor, and substance use and misuse sessions on BASE. Once they get back to their home campus, they have individual sessions with their counselor and 4 sessions with the interventionist. Any questions? I know that was a lot of information.
What are some of the things you're doing to target some of these areas of trouble? You can talk about that a little bit.
On the academic side?
Absolutely.
So on the academic side, we've done some restructuring with our coaching model. We're continuing to provide our coaches coaching. That looks a little different now. We've revamped that. I think another thing that we have done is that we have created local assessments that are rigorous and aligned to STAR. That was an issue, I think, prior that our assessments are not aligned to STAR, so the data wasn't matching, right? Because our STAR is very rigorous. It's a very difficult test. It's cognitively a couple of grade levels above where our kids are at. So we need to be able to match that. The teachers need to be able to match that content that they're delivering to match STAR. That's the only way they're going to continue to grow on that. So our team is creating those assessments to our coaches and some of the APs. I think what else we're doing, we are providing professional development, more professional development to our staff. We've cut down a lot of, I would say, instructional strategies that do not provide bang for the buck. We're focusing on instructional strategies that are meat and potatoes, that are foundational for growth for students and for teachers. And providing those this summer, we're providing teachers flex days to encourage them to come to PD this summer. That's something that we have not had to that level in this district. Those are a few of the things that we're doing to increase proficiency.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I was just going to say thank you for everything you're doing. It's exciting to see the needle moving in the right direction. So I wanted to thank our principals at our campuses as well for owning this and taking charge of that. Y'all are doing a great job. We're proud of y'all, so y'all please keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
At this time, do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak? Okay,
When will this report be available to the public?
Yes, sir.
Is there more information behind this?
Yes, sir. So we are going to post that on our website pretty soon, and then you'll also get an email coming from us with the report cards pretty soon. Everything's going to be on the website, email to you.
Second.
we have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Parson. All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. It is 5:56 p.m. I would like to call the March 20th, 2024 regular meeting to order. It is 5:57 p.m. There is a quorum present, and notice of this meeting has been posted in a time and manner required by law. Mr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Cliff Williams. Scott Carson.
Present.
Charles Perry. Kyle Hagemeyer.
Present.
Ms. Paulette Trailer.
Present.
Ms. Nikita Lagway.
Present.
My name is Chad Jones. Thank you.
The board will now hear comments from the audience only during the public comment portion of the meeting. Groups of 5 or more who wish to express the same viewpoint on an issue must appoint a representative to speak for the group and will have 3 minutes to present, unless the topic is an item on the board agenda. Please respect the privacy of others, refrain from identifying students, employees, and other community members by name. I will determine whether the speaker has attempted to solve a matter administratively through resolution channels established by policy. If not, the speaker will be referred to the appropriate policy to seek resolution. Disruption of this meeting will not be tolerated at any time. Per board policy, the board does not respond during public comments. Our first speaker tonight is Diane Hibner.
My subject this evening is item 9D on the agenda. Proclamation 2024 Instructional Materials Selection for K through 12 Science Instruction Material. Also, I wish to discuss something about contractual agreement and school board position number 5. I wish to express my appreciation to Mr. Jason Merrick for his due diligence and efforts in providing extensive time for the review of the Proclamation 2024 Instructional Materials Selection for K through 12 Science Instruction Materials for consideration for WISD. I had noted in the past that the time frame for the review of instructional materials was not sufficient. Mr. Merrick heard me and acted accordingly. He was most informative and receptive to my questions and concerns during the preview of the materials. Thank you for a job well done. I have noted that tonight's agenda discussion and action items have required contractual agreements. I hope that you can assure we the people that you have followed the processes of bid proposals for the selection of such agreements. In conclusion, I am again asking the board member in position number 5 to resign. The member has lost the confidence of the voters in being able to execute a professional judgment in the matters of managing the financial and personal matters within the WISD school district. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hibner. Our next speaker is Scott Baker.
Hello. My name is Scott Baker. I'm a resident and taxpayer in Willis ISD. I have students in the school district. Last night, I attended your informational meeting on the 2024 bond propositions. It was presented by Mr. Crow here, and I do appreciate you doing such a meeting. However, I was left somewhat wanting from said meeting. The propositions, and it was started with Mr. Crow saying that he was going to talk about the propositions and then what that was going to do for our students. We did talk about the propositions. We did not really talk about what that's going to do for the students. Proposition A, expansion of the 9th grade building because of expansion. I was told there was a 70-person council that was gathered to discuss these issues and present information and present a report for why we're supposed to go into extraordinary levels of debt to fund these propositions. Proposition A, you might be able to sell me on that. We are growing. No question we're growing. I do have questions whether or not we're growing at the levels that are stated in your presentation and by the consultants that were hired. Proposition B is $68 million for a football stadium. The rationale given was that the existing stadium is old. That was it. That was the primary rationale, is that it's old. It currently seats 4,500 seats in the new one. I don't know that anybody's ever done a study to see if we could add some seats to it. I would like to see that information and what kind of bill that would be, because $68 million plus the interest associated with it, up to 100%, so you can double that number possibly, is an exorbitant amount of money for a football stadium, for a football program that's already producing stellar athletes. In fact, one of them we just sent, he's an award-winning athlete. So seems to be nothing wrong with our athletic program as it is. Certainly not that we need to justify $68 million worth of stadium, in my opinion. Proposition C is for $20 million for an aquatic center. The rationale was that students are driving to Conroe. I don't know that $20 million worth of gas and trouble is being spent driving to Conroe by the number of students we have swimming. The other rationale was that it might bring the community together. Quite frankly, that is not a good excuse. The purpose of the Willis ISD is not to bring the community together so they can swim. It's just simply not. It's a lovely idea, but it is not the purpose of this institution. Proposition D, $27 million for a student activity center. The rationale is the band might practice inside when it's hot. Texas is always hot.
The board will now convene into closed session for the purposes of considering matters in which closed sessions are authorized, Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code .071 through .129. A, consider and possible action regarding submission of petition regarding annexation of district-owned property, commonly known as Middle School Number 3 property identified as being 43.101 acres of land more or less situated in the James Edwards Survey, abstract, or A-190, Montgomery County, Texas, to the city of Conroe, and further authorize all actions for furtherance for annexation. B, discuss teacher resignations and consider approval of teacher appointments, Texas Government Code 551.074. C, discuss and consider possible action items regarding contract abandonment of a teacher at Willis High School. D, consider and discuss possible action item regarding superintendent's recommendation to avoid contract with high school teacher and terminate employment. It is 6:04 p.m. The board will now reconvene into open session. It is 7:01 p.m. Are there any motions from closed session? Mr. Williams.
Move that the board approve the resolution regarding the submission of petition requesting the annexation of district-owned property, commonly known as Middle School Property Number 3, identified as being approximately 43.101 acres of land more or less, situated in the James Edwards Survey A-190, Montgomery County, Texas, to the city of Conroe, and further authorize all actions and furtherance of that annexation pursuant to the board's authority under local government code chapter 43, subchapter C-3.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams.
Make a motion we accept the superintendent's recommendation on professional personnel listed.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Carson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. At this time, we'll turn it over to Mr. Crowe for our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Well, tonight we have the honor of having Bradford Middle School here, Dr. Price is going to introduce his students, and then we'll lead us from the invocation and the pledge.
Awesome sauce. All right, guys, so leading us in our invocation will be Mr. Isaiah Allen. And no, I'm sorry, invocation will be Mr. Ryan Cool. And leading us in the pledges will be Mr. Isaiah Allen. Isaiah, you can come on up first.
Please stand for a moment of silence for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance now for the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Please stay standing for a moment of silence. Now, Mr. Ryan Poole.
Good evening, everyone. Please bow your heads as we join in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for each and every person gathered here for the board meeting tonight. I ask that you bless and protect our community and each person inside of it. Father, please be with the leaders of our school district and give them the wisdom to make the decisions tonight that will best benefit every student, teacher, staff member, and family in our community. I pray that you bring peace, compassion, and understanding to all of the members of our community and people around the world. Please continue to protect our cities, schools, and country. Father, please get everyone home safely tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Great job.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Poole, and I'm the National Junior Honor Society President at Brownlee Middle School. I would like to spotlight some of the events we have had this year at our school and speak about the future plans for the National Junior Honor Society program. Our leadership has been under the direction of Mr. Vags, and I would just like to say how grateful we are for the time he has given to the program this year. First off, I would like to speak about our Veterans Day program. The Veterans Day program at Brownlee has been an ongoing tradition for the past 2 years. Each year, our school hosts a breakfast for local veterans and active members of the military to thank them for all they have done for our country. It is a special event that I have really enjoyed helping with because I have always had such an appreciation for our veterans and what they do for the country and the sacrifices that they are willing to make for each and every one of us in this room tonight. Secondly, I would like to touch on our Better Mentors program. The Better Mentors program is hosted by NJHS members and is both a positive experience for the NJHS members and the young students. The program involves the NJHS going over to Metter during the school day to listen to young elementary students read and assist them with words they may not understand. It's a wonderful leadership opportunity that provides a great mentorship experience for NJHS members who can be great examples for younger students. I would now like to touch on some of the smaller events we have done throughout the school year and some of our future plans for the program. One popular event amongst our officers is the Glow Party, which is a stay and play hosted at Metter Elementary, where volunteers get to help with face painting and passing out snacks for students. And finally, a few other things I'd like to mention is that during our NJHS meetings this year, our committee members have helped make cards and posters of encouragement for students, local nursing homes, and sick children that are hospital bound to bring a smile to their faces, as well as a canned food drive for those in need and a contribution to the annual BMS Trunk or Treat. Some of our future goals for the NJHS program are to serve the community by volunteering at a broader spectrum of places in our area and to set an example by our actions, leadership, and service, from the classroom to the football field, to the baseball field, to the volleyball court, to the stands during a game, to the hallways of our schools, or even somewhere as simple as a grocery store. Before I leave tonight, I would like to give a huge thank you to all of our committee leaders. I would like to thank Macy, Allie, Austin, and Isaiah for all of the hard work they have put towards our organization this year, and to everyone else that is in NJHS that is not here tonight. Thank you all for listening, and please give a warm welcome to our excellent, motivating, inspirational, caring, and kind principal, the uber amazing, one and only Dr. Rice.
They know purple is my favorite color. My face is turning purple. I would just like to introduce Mr. Baggs. Mr. Baggs, if you could come up and just share a brief word with the crew. President Heckermeyer, board, this guy works tirelessly just behind the scenes, and I just would like for him to just share a word.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Baggs, and I'm a second-year English teacher at Broward Middle School and the current National Junior Honor Society sponsor. It is a great honor to speak before you all tonight, and I'm very glad to spotlight the hard work and accomplishments of the NJHS here at Broward. As a former member of the Honor Society, I can truly say that all members, especially the officers, are upstanding students who possess the extremely important qualities of leadership, integrity, community, and academic excellence. Watching these students work together to give back to the community of Willis has been an incredible experience, and one that I am truly grateful for. I'm very excited to continue to develop the program next year, and I want to thank you all again for this great opportunity to showcase the hard work of these incredible students. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so now we have our student of the month for secondary middle school. Come on up, Maggie Mashak. All righty, guys, so Maggie, when I tell you she's a rock star, like in every literal moment at Bravo Middle School, she's so amazing. I didn't even know she had a twin brother. Okay, so her twin is not here tonight. He's not here, is he? Okay, he's not here tonight. But the girl is amazing. They had to make her twice. Like that's just how amazing she is. So I'm just going to share just some things that Ms. Honeycutt, as well as your teachers, have stated. Maggie is the perfect example of what it means to rise to excellence. She is a model student and has demonstrated success in both athletics and academics. Maggie is an outstanding student who gives 110% to everything she does. She works incredibly hard in class, attends tutorials, and never complains when teachers extend her thinking during her instructional time. Most importantly, she treats others with compassion each and every day. She offers to help those who need it and compliments her peers when they are doing well. Maggie absolutely demonstrates epic Bobcat values. When I first saw Maggie day one, I told her, I stopped her in the hallway, I was like, Maggie, you have the prettiest smile. And I didn't know that her teachers were telling her the same thing, but that's just Maggie's energy. Maggie has amazing values, and we are so grateful to have such an amazing young lady in our Bobcat Den. So Maggie, thanks for being our student of the month for Bravo Middle School.
Maggie, we have a certificate for you in recognition. We have a medal for you. And then a Whataburger jar and a coupon. Whataburger. Congratulations, Maggie.
Good evening, board. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Tamara Good, principal of Meadow Elementary, and her assistant principal, Micah Surface, and they will introduce the elementary student of the month.
Good evening, board. It's a pleasure to see all of you here today. Before we start, I do want to say thank you to Dr. Price and to Mr. Baggs, who actually reaches out to us at Meadow to look for volunteering opportunities. They mentioned about the Glow Party, and we had 650 people attend, and they helped with manning kids and booths and all kinds of things. You guys really made a big difference for us, so thank y'all so very much. Thank y'all. All right, so normally I share who the student of the month is. I share all of the write-ups. However, we have a very special, I'm used to the microphone. I know you can't tell that. I have a very special assistant principal who would love to share something about our student of the month. His teacher is here as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Surface to share.
All right then. All right, good evening, board president, board members, Mr. Crow, and Ms. Carroll. It's my honor to present the Student of the Month award to Landon Jimenez. I had the privilege of getting to know him just a few months ago. At Meadow, we have a school-wide program for our behavior incentives where students can earn Meadow money and purchase different things such as buying from our book vending machine, having lunch with a friend. And out of all the prizes that Landon could have chosen, he actually chose to have lunch with me. And that was my first time to really get to sit down and get to talk to him. And I could tell right away just what an incredible young man Landon is. He is such a polite student, and he has a positive outlook on everything, whether it's choices in school, whether it's life things we talked about. He was just so positive about it. When we see each other in the hallway now, he always makes it a point to tell me hello. He asks how my day is going, and he just has those manners. He also is just one of those kids that when you're having that rough day, maybe something's going on, he just puts that smile on your face, and he makes sure that you're going to have the best day for the rest of the day. His teachers said that in the classroom, he's a role model. He's respectful, helpful, caring, and loves to learn. He gives 100% at everything that he does. And from being a safety patrol on our campus to being the student of the week for 5th grade, he is truly a shining star that makes Mother better every single day. Landon, we are so proud of you, and we are so excited to have you represent our campus as Student of the Month. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Great job. Certificate. Come in here. Sure.
So we have one more thing that's not on the list or our agenda. For those of you who don't know, we've been doing a superintendent search. When Dr. Harkrider stepped down last June, we had one person who has stayed consistent with the district for several years, I think since she was about 2 years old. And so for us, we've had a lot of nights over the past couple of weeks as we've been doing interviews where we start those at 4 o'clock and we end about 10 o'clock. That person make sure that meals, they make sure who's ever coming, all of the things that have to be put into place so that as board members we can show up here and without a doubt we know that Willis ISD is represented to the best of its ability. And so we have had everyone that we've met with and interviewed, every one of them has said, I wish that I had Ms. Carroll as my boss. And so we can't, as a board, we can't say thank you enough. As a student, parent, teacher, staff member at Willis ISD, I promise you, you cannot say thank you enough for everything that she does, has done, and will do. And so she has made this process extremely great for all of us. And so I just want to say thank you. Yeah, so if we were getting flowers to show our appreciation, they wouldn't have come in this room, I can tell you. And so, truly, that's from all of us. Because from me personally, I want to say thank you because I stepped into board president 6 months later. Mr. Harkrider had another opportunity, and so I appreciate when I call you and say, I don't know anything about this, tell me. I get what I need to know now, what I needed to know before, what I should have already known. And so, we just can't say thank you enough for the contribution she's made to Willis ISD.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We need to go back to the reconvene the open session and look at item number C. I move that we find good cause did not exist for Holly Gibla to abandon her probationary employment contract and authorize our board president to file a written complaint to the State Board of Educators certification.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. So now we'll go back to our
Okay, recognitions. I'd like to call three people forward here, give them some recognition. Jamie Fales, the Director of Communications, Caleb Ricardo, the Communications Specialist, and Melissa Usala, the Media Specialist. These ladies went to TSPRA, the Texas school Public Relations Conference, and they came away with quite a few awards. They got 7-star awards at the conference. They got 3 golds in the flyer, calendar, planner, and photo academic classroom subjects. They got 3 silver awards in the promotional, video, flyer, and newsletter categories, and a bronze award in the writing category. 7 awards. These were for districts under 15,000, and they brought home gold, silver, and the bronze. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay.
And, oh, sorry.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Lieutenant Leslie Zimlica, we're going to honor our police officers tonight for the outstanding job that they've done. Leslie, want me to help you?
No, I got it.
Got it? All right. She never takes my help.
Well, these will go to the board members, they're all enrolled. Yeah. This is a special thanks from the officers to y'all, because we know without y'all, we would not be the force we are. We appreciate all that you've done to vote us in and to get more officers and to make sure our Willis ISD is safe, and I appreciate that. So, I'd like to say though, I started in 1998 with 3 officers. One at the high school, one at Lynn Lucas, and one patrol. And really that patrol didn't, the guy was picking up money. So, I mean, we were tight together, I'll tell you that. And we worked hard, and I'll tell you this, the board over the years has grown, an officer here, an officer there, and we got up to about 6 and 7, and we thought we were doing good. I had no idea how great it is having an extra 5. I mean, it's been absolutely wonderful. The principal's been happy. The district's been happy. I mean, I feel good. I love walking on a campus and seeing them there. It has made a difference. Y'all did a great job by voting that in, and I appreciate every bit of it. So I'd like to honor them. First, I'll start with Jackie De La Cruz. Jackie Cade, which is our sergeant. She is now she has 16 years, all with Willis. She was born, raised, and her children go here. I have Tiffany Neal, Deputy Tiffany Neal at the high school. 16 years of service and 2 with Willis. Michael Alexander and River. 10 years of service and 2 with Willis. Deputy Ashton Childers, he's at the CTE. 10 years and 2 years with Willis. I have Bob Barrett, Brown Middle School. 24 years and 17 with Willis. Candace Charbonneau. 27 years, and this is just her 2nd year. Wayne McCaffrey. 24 years, 11 with Willis. Max McGee. 1 year with Willis. And now our new recruits, James Hinkle, CC Hardy. 12 years of service. Christina Hanks. 10 years of service. 3.5, excuse me. Paul Bostick, Turner Elementary. 5 years of service. And James Sprayberry, Better Elementary. Thank you, guys. I'd like to take a picture, if that's okay?
Yes.
So,
You may need to
Mr. Crowe?
stagger with a few people in
Sure.
front.
Let's put the
Yeah,
table.
Jackie,
Candy in the front.
Christine, you don't come forward.
Okay, let me
And
grab
then
this.
you guys
Let me
can
grab
squeeze in.
this real fast.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, let's
I'll get right back. I promise. Okay, thank you. Now, all right, now, see, girl. Well, you said girl. Okay, you know, yeah, right, when you said I'm gonna come right here. What do you think? Oh, can we get a little tighter? Here. Would it help me take a knee? Would it make you stand out? Hold on a minute. Well, she said take a knee. Okay. I can help you. Hey, puppy. River. Look at her, guys. Keep looking at her. Smile. Perfect. Got it? Yes. Okay. All right. All right. This is River.
Okay, at this time, we are going to introduce Mr. Trent Miller. Coach Trent Miller is what I probably should be saying. Coach Miller is our head football coach, but also our brand new athletic director, and I'd like to everybody give a round of applause for him for stepping up in that role.
This thing on? Good evening, President Hagemeyer, members of the board, Mr. Crowe, Ms. Carroll. I'd also like to extend a welcome back to Ms. Paulette Trailer, who's been absent the last couple of months. We've been praying for you. Good to see you back up here with us. It's my honor tonight to introduce and to talk briefly about our wrestling program, our swimming and dive program, and boys basketball. Girls basketball could not be here tonight. They had their banquet going on, so hopefully we can get them back at our next scheduled board meeting. Of all of the athletes that we're going to acknowledge tonight, you know, the one thing, you know, that I talked about back in December with our football and volleyball teams is the importance of the student before the athlete part. 18 of these students up here tonight are receiving academic awards in our district, and so that is amazing beyond measure. Them understanding what the student part of what they do really entails. Athletics is going to end at some point for all of us. That degree will last you a lifetime if that's the route you decide to take. If you decide not to go to college, whatever trade that you involve yourself with, you're showing commitment, dedication, and structure in your life by being an academic all-district or academic member. And so hats off to all the athletes that got that academic award. Our athletic department is so proud of you guys, everything that you've done, everything you encompass. So many awards are going to be talked about tonight. We're going to bring up the wrestling program. First, Coach Thomas is going to talk about them. We've got state qualifiers, regional qualifiers. Swim and dive, we've got a number of swimmers that are regional qualifiers. And then, well, how about our boys basketball team? Crushed it this year. So Coach Clark's going to talk about that group tonight here in just a little bit. Tremendous job by all of you, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everyone involved in this room tonight, teachers, coaches. It takes a village to raise a child. So if you're here tonight to recognize any one of these athletes, thank you. From our athletic department, school board members, thank you for allowing these coaches to coach, supporting them and having their back in everything they do. At this time, I want to bring up Coach Thomas to introduce our wrestlers.
proud to, be a Wildcat for 9 years here at Willis. And it's one of those things that I've been blessed for 9 years. I'm telling you, ever since I moved down here, I've been blessed. I just want to thank you guys first, the board, superintendent. You guys, you support us where other people don't support wrestling. And so I really appreciate that. Wrestling is not everywhere. So, I really am thankful for our program and what you do with our kids and supporting our kids. And secondly, I want to thank about all the parents. A lot of them are here that are not going to be here next year, and I'm going to miss them really, really bad. So, actually, I'm not going to miss them too much. We got my brothers coming, so there's always brothers coming and stuff. So it'll be all right. This year, our boys team went 19-5 in duels and matches against other teams. They won a championship in a regional in a tournament with 36 teams. They went top 3 in the Houston area against 80 teams. We had 5 state qualifiers, 2 state alternates. We were second in district to some people that we won't name in this building. And then Conroe people, but we're still better than them in every way. And our girls, I'm very proud of our girls team and what they were able to do this year. We have a bunch of brand new girls. And they got really, really good by the end of the year. We actually had some regional qualifiers and stuff like that. In 9 years, we had 117 kids go to regionals, 26 kids qualify for state, 5 state placers. Our team averages 23 wins a year, and it's because of our kids. Our kids they're highly talented. They're very talented kids. We have a big pool of talent coming up. So, I hope I stay here for the rest of my career because I love Willis. I love being a Wildcat, and it's just a special place to me. I'm really proud and thankful of a lady standing over there, Miss Bridget Thomas. She's my assistant coach, and she's the teacher of the year for Willis ISD. Being a coach, it's hard to get teacher of the year. And so she worked her tail off this year, and I'm very proud of her. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting these guys some recognition. Okay, first guy, freshman Wesley Burns. He's an academic all-district. Grady Burson, sophomore, regional qualifier, state qualifier. Hayden Beeman, academic all-district. Senior Ethan Elliott, regional qualifier, state qualifier. Freshman Avery Johnson, regional qualifier. Freshman Leon Jordan, academic all-district, regional qualifier. Sophomore Charles Lambert, academic all-district. Here's one of them I'm going to miss, another senior, Hunter May, regional qualifier, state qualifier. Other senior, Timothy McConnell-Tatch, regional qualifier. Sophomore Stephen Gwynn, academic all-district. Sophomore Anna Ramirez, regional qualifier. Sophomore David Ramirez, academic all-district. Sophomore, I got a lot of sophomores, heck yeah. Linzo Tereja, academic all-district. Senior Marina Wilson, academic all-district, regional qualifier, state qualifier. Once again, thank you parents, thank you supporters, really proud of every last one of these kids. Thank you.
Take a picture. Oh, they were going to do a picture in the hall though. You want to do one real quick here? Andrea, we can. Come on, stay here. Stay here.
Would you take a picture, please?
Yeah. Can you do a picture? Y'all are going to have to squeeze way in, guys.
salt?
I got you all. Thank y'all.
All right, now I'd like to bring up Coach Christy Brown, our head swim and dive coach.
If you had told me 20 years ago, when I started at Hardy Elementary, that I would be coaching swim in Willis, I would have told you you were crazy. But then I would have told you there's nothing better than elementary PE. But I think I lied, because working at the high school and getting to work with swim, it's been the best yet. I mean, I could cry thinking about it. But I've had so much fun with these guys. And we went to state with our diver, Kelsey, and we got to see swimmers. I came back and I told him, we're going to swim. We saw some record-breaking swimming. We're going with swimmers next year. I don't care what I have to do. They're gonna cry lots of nights of being sore, but we're going, right, Ann? So anyway, I thank y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Of course, through our tribulations and trials, most of you reached out, and I told every single one of you that I appreciate it. I appreciate every single thing that y'all did. I never once felt alone. I felt like I'd call any one of you at any given time and said, help. And so thank you. Anyway, back to my swimmers, the great. First one I have, region qualifiers, Aaron Barker. Next one is Ashley Flowers. Next up is Kaylee Hall. Next one is Addie Lyons. Next up is Carly Murray. They're in high school. They still don't do what they're supposed to do. Next up is Claire Barone. I told them to get in order.
We're trying to find no order, I'm sorry.
Just take one. Y'all supposed to make us look good.
Where's it at?
Next up is Patty Ramson. Basketball, don't do me dirty like that. Go ahead and get in the water, okay? Next one is Langston Ramson. Right. Next up is Kendall Rick. Regional qualifier, I'm sorry. Riley Rick is also. They can switch it out. Hey, this is why instructions are important. Next one up is Claire Smythe. Last one. This is a state qualifier. I got to go to state with her, and it's amazing. She is just, she's mighty. She's little, but she's mighty. Kelsey, what do you think?
Okay, squeeze together real quick. We'll get a picture. One, two, three. Okay, I got it. It's fine. Oh.
Last but not least, I'd like to bring up our 13-6A Coach of the Year, Jeremy Clark, boys basketball.
Good evening. Note to self for next board recognition meeting, please do not let me pass out the certificate. But first and foremost, I do want to thank the board, President, Mr. Howemeyer, Superintendent, Mr. Crow. I've seen a lot of y'all at the games, and just, I appreciate the support. I really do appreciate the support, the things you do for us behind the scenes for the community, and also our basketball program is never unnoticed. And so I definitely appreciate you. Our fabulous principal, Mr. King, always just supporting me just at the games and just talking basketball and just always asking about family. That means a lot as a coach, as a teacher. And then also Coach Miller, just always just filling in and just being a mind and just pick his brain. Just definitely been a big help and support. So I definitely appreciate you guys. If you didn't make it to a basketball game this year, you missed out on some high-flying action, slam dunks, guys that's playing for a bigger purpose for other than themselves, and just playing with tenacity every day in practice and in the games. And so I definitely appreciate those guys here. We're going to recognize them. And just to talk about our season, it all started back pretty much around this time. I'm big on goal setting, manifesting the type of things you want in your life. And one of the things we did, we wrote down all of our goals that what we wanted to achieve, and worked summer, preseason for that. And the two of the goals were winning more than 20 games, being top 2 in the district, having all district awards, all academic awards, and advancing in the playoffs and being the first team in 6A to make the playoffs for our basketball program. And they did all those. We had it on our board every day, and it was big for us. And so I just want to recognize these guys real quick. And first, I would like to start off with Jackson Day, sophomore, all academic. And just talking about Jackson, Jackson's an all-A student in all AP classes. One thing that me and him have set a goal with each other is that by the time he's a senior, that he'll be all-state, all academic. In order to get that, you have to have a 92 and above for his 7 semesters in your high school career. And Jackson's well on his way, and we're just staying on top of that. Also, Jackson broke his finger, would miss probably about 2 months of the season. If he didn't break his finger the way he was playing, he's probably going to be a first team all or a second team all district. So I'm looking forward to having him back next year. Next person is AJ Dorsey, senior all academic team. Now, I want to share a quick story about AJ. This is my 3rd year at Willis. I had AJ as a sophomore. And AJ has always been a great kid, but sometimes the classroom wasn't his biggest interest. Let me share it. He told me I could share it. But his sophomore year, he fell off the team. But what I'm so proud of him right now, standing before us, is that he made an all-academic team this year, his senior year. That just shows growth, that shows maturity. He was accepted by Dallas Baptist University, and I just know he's going to do big things in his life, and his future just bright for him. I'm so proud of him. He's probably one of my most improved players throughout the program, on and off the court, with just his attitude and his mindset, and was a tremendous leader for us this year. Next, I have Chandler Beasley, junior, second team all district. Chandler can play, man. Chandler's a baller. One of those guys that's gonna be competitive. He's gonna talk mess in practice. He's gonna get guys going. It's just, if I need practice to get going, I'm just gonna tell Chandler a little something in his ear, and now practice is all competitive. But I think he was robbed, first team all district. He was our second leading scorer. But he's gonna have a big summer this year, and I think he's a future college player. So I know Chandler's gonna be really well for us this year, this upcoming season. But Chandler beats me, everybody. And then I have senior Bryce Bass, first team all district. Yeah, you see that big smile, that's him all day. He's just gonna smile. Sometimes I get mad about him because he's smiling too much in practice or in the game. But Bryce is a tremendous senior leader for us. He transferred from Atascocita. Bryce was our defensive anchor, our leader. And one thing about it is, it's about off the court too. He made sure the guys stayed together. He was big on just team chemistry, whether it's everybody jumping in his car, going to McDonald's, or going to his house. He was a leader for us. And it just transformed on the court where he was able to be first team all district. Bryce does have a scholarship opportunity at Coastal Bend Junior College where he's taking a visit Thursday. So let's be praying for him and everything works out with that. And then last but not least, my guy sophomore, S.J. Young. He was Offensive Player of the Year. He was first team all district. And then he was also all region team as a sophomore. He averaged 17 points per game for us and 7 rebounds. I make a joke with SJ, and I said it at our banquet. SJ is the guy that I yell at the most in practice. Just having high expectations for SJ. His father's the all-time leading scorer here, so he's got big shoes to fill. But just a tremendous young man on and off the court. All he's going to do is smile and joke with you, but he also works hard. These guys definitely are a big reason to our success. I tell them, you know, I wouldn't have made Coach of the Year without them. You got to have players. I don't care who you are. You can be Phil Jackson. If you don't have players, you're not going to win Coach of the Year. So, you know, that's a testimony to them. And you got a lot of guys coming back. We lost in the first round of playoffs, but we're going to set the bar. We're going to continue to set the bar high. And we're looking for a state tournament appearance next year. Thank you, everybody.
Information and ad hoc reports. A, delinquent tax collection.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I know what you've been thinking all night. You can't believe it's been 5 months since you've heard a delinquent tax report. Well, the wait is over. Miss Leslie Scotty with Purdue Brandon is here tonight to present the collection tax report for March.
Thank you. Wonderful introduction. Good evening. I missed y'all for that 5 months. I truly did. Well, Leslie Scotty with Purdue Brandon, here to talk about delinquent taxes. Brought along with me attorney Rebecca Rosebush. She's been helping me out with collections. A little team effort. So as we go into this, most of y'all heard most of my spiel, but note these are delinquent taxes only. The tax office does a great job. Your taxpayers do a great job of paying. The tax office is collecting over 95% of the taxes before they get turned over to us for collections every July. So of the 3 to 5% turned over to us yearly, this report represents those amounts throughout the years. So by law, when you contract with a delinquent tax firm, we're at no cost to the district. We get paid what's called a collection penalty, and that becomes part of the tax penalty and interest should the taxes be delinquent July 1 following the year for which they were billed. So taxes are billed in October, they go delinquent the following February. The taxpayer gets a notice called a 3307 notice from the tax office around May. And if they're still delinquent, that notifies the taxpayer of the collection penalty attaching on July 1. If they're still delinquent July 1, that fee attaches, they're turned over to us, and from there we begin our collections. So first chart we have in the pack is the breakdown chart. This gives us a snapshot of your entire delinquent tax roll, all the years that are owed, and where our system has categorized them. So we get the raw data from the tax office, we put it into our tax system, and the way things are coded, our system categorizes them. So for example, you'll see the largest section is the deferral section at 32%. These are taxpayers who have elected to defer payment of their taxes on their residence homesteads. And these taxpayers are either 65 or older or have a disability, and they have filed a deferral exemption with the appraisal district. So once that deferral status is placed on the account by the appraisal district, we can no longer send letters, make calls, and for good reason, the taxpayer effectively defers the payment of those taxes until they no longer use that property as their residence homestead. With that being said, they can choose to pay those taxes at any time during that tax deferral. I just cannot threaten tax foreclosure or make any collection calls to them, but they may pay, and if they sell the property, they get paid in the closing, for example. So the next largest section is the action pending section. These are going to be majority the 2022 taxes that were turned over to us last July 2023. So we're still making phone calls, sending final letters around this time, because at this time for those 2022 taxes, we've exhausted our efforts. We've either had meaningful communications with the taxpayers, set up payment agreements, and they're paying out that payment agreement on schedule, and we're allowing them to do that, or those agreements have broken down and those accounts are moving into litigation. The next largest section is the suit litigation section at 18%. So accounts go into litigation when the communication breaks down, when we're unable to find the taxpayer may no longer be living, not have a probated estate, those type of circumstances where we can't find a person to pay the taxes or set up a payment agreement. So in litigation, this encompasses everything from suit just being filed, to us seeking service on the parties, to it being ready for a judgment, set for court, judgment has been granted, we're waiting to set it for sale. That encompasses all of those things. We work very hard and communicate with the taxpayers during this process as well. It's usually a 6 months to a 1 year process. So everybody gets notice, everybody is afforded due process. They have a meaningful way to contact us to set up payment agreements, preserve their interest in the property, and we work very hard with the taxpayers to help them preserve their interest in the property. Next largest section is the uncollectible section at 9%. These are accounts that we have internally deemed uncollectible for various reasons. Could be that it's a business personal property account and the business is closed and liquidated assets. So if there's nothing we can seize to pay the taxes under a tax warrant, for example. Or it could be a mobile home that ceases to exist or has moved out of the county, can't find it, or the owner is no longer living, that type of thing. And on occasion we find properties that are unmapped by the appraisal district. And I know many of you have heard me say this before, but if I can't figure out where the property sits on the ground, I can't have a meaningful tax sale. Go through the tax sale process, I want to convey to the tax sale buyer title and an actual piece of dirt on the ground. So we find those from time to time. We share that information with the appraisal district in hopes that we can get it cleaned off of the roll. All right, so note that the trust and bankruptcy section is very low at 1% combined tax trust and bankruptcy accounts in a bankruptcy. That's a good thing for the district, meaning that we have cleared out the tax trust. People are buying properties in the tax trust. So the district's not holding on to properties that didn't sell at the original tax sale. That at one point in time was a historical problem for the district, and through having a yearly tax resale for the district, we have cleaned out that tax sale list, and people want to buy a piece of Willis ISD, also a good thing. People want to be here, people want to own property here, and I think that's a wonderful thing, and the low bankruptcy is obviously a great thing. that people are well situated economically. All right, next chart is the dollar range chart. So this just gives me an idea of where the dollars are owed. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time on this chart, but analyzing the roll and working the roll top down, we collect the highest dollar accounts and we work our way down to the lowest dollar accounts. And just wanted to make a note about the 10,000 and up dollar range section at 23%. The vast majority of these accounts are in a deferred status, and the handful that are not are in the litigation process. A few of them are ready for tax sale. We'll be looking to put them on the June tax sale. And everything in that 10,000 up status is either deferred or in the litigation process. So this is basically just another collection tool to help us be efficient for the district. Then I have our tax year chart, pretty self-explanatory. You'll notice that the largest section is the 2022 tax year at 33%. So many of these are in the process of being collected or newly in the litigation process. And after the 2022 tax year, the segments get smaller year by year, 15 and prior. The reasons for those older years is going to be your properties that have had tax deferral status for some time, could be struck off to the district, or one of those properties I mentioned that we've deemed uncollectible due to not being mapped by the appraisal district that we work to resolve. And then I have our historical collection data from 2017. You'll see for 2017, we're almost 92% collected of what was initially turned over to us for that tax year back in 18, on through 21, where we are at 76% collected. I went too far. And then 2022, what we just started working on last July, we're almost 60% collected. So steadily progressing up there. Just wanted to give you some information, general information. We had a tax sale in February that had a couple of the district's properties, and we'll be having a June tax sale that will be listing some properties that have taxes due to Willis ISD. We continue doing monthly dockets in Montgomery County, and we have dockets about every third month in San Jacinto County for the part of the district that crosses over into San Jacinto County. And by way of reminder, tax sales for Montgomery County are now online through a company called Real Auction, and we have information on signing up for that on our website, along with tax sale listings when we have scheduled tax sales for both Montgomery and San Jacinto County, as well as the tax trust list, if you're interested in looking and seeing what is struck off to the district. So I encourage you to visit that. You can also sign up for tax sale emails if you want to update. I believe that comes out every Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Is there any questions? None being heard. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk taxes. Every 5 months, roughly. Thank you very much.
Item B, student enrollment.
The rest of B, C, D, and E are all information items.
Yep.
Consent agenda? Yep. Approval of minutes, and then also consider approval of the contingency fee contract with Purdue Brandon Fielding, Collins and Mott for the collection of delinquent government receivables owed to Willis ISD.
Mr. Williams? Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Johns. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item 9, discussion and possible action items. A, discuss, consider approval of ADA waiver for low attendance day in January 2024.
Mr. Mansfield.
Thank you. Board President, Mr. Crow, Board Trustees, welcome back, Paula. So I thank you, Carol. You deserve one of those flowers for sure. So, but it's a nice gesture. So, as you know, we flooded in January, and we had some issues with buses. We had some issues with people getting out of neighborhoods. And so we had a low attendance day that was lower than 10% of the average last year. And so at that point in time, we can apply for a waiver for ADA and on that day, so it doesn't really count against us. There was, most of the campuses qualified, a couple didn't, Lagway and Metter did not, so the rest of them did, so I'm requesting permission to ask for or apply for that waiver through TEA tonight.
I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the ADA waiver for the low attendance for the campuses and dates listed.
We have a motion by Ms. Traylor, a second by Mr. Carson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Item B, discuss, consider approval of technology purchase over $50,000.
Stephen Shannon, got the next two items.
Good evening, Board, Mr. Crow, Ms. Carroll. The district applied for funding through the Safety and Facility Enhancement Grant with the purpose of further enhancing the security of our campus entrances by monitoring who's entering the building and denying or restricting access when needed. So what we're looking to do with these funds is install additional cameras at these entrances along with the servers and licensing needed to handle that, as well as install two-way audio and visual communication intercoms. Providing these additional security enhancements will allow us to be in compliance with Chapter 61 of TEA Commissioner's Rules regarding school safety, and the equipment will be installed and operational by August 31st of 2024 per grant requirements. This project will be fully funded by the safety grant in the amount of $250,953.48, and we're asking for your approval to move forward with this project this evening.
Mr. Carson.
Move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for technology purchases over $50,000 from the Safety and Facilities Enhancement Grant.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
I have a quick question for you. Does the installation be done by that date or just the purchase of it?
Both installations.
The installation has to be done by that
Yes.
date too? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Item C, discuss, consider approval of instructional technology purchase over $50,000.
Sir, we are, as we prepare for the upcoming 24-25 school year, we are looking to update the appropriate technology equipment. We're looking to add the addition to some of our projectors previously purchased, wireless adapters for those. What that will do is allow wireless connectivity to these projectors and allow those staff members and teachers to be active in that learning space. The replacement of 4,500 Chromebooks and 855 iPads to continue our device refresh cycle and replacing of that aging equipment. One lab each at the middle school for the upcoming new 3D modeling curriculum being offered next year. And then Chromebook carts at both middle schools, and this is going to allow us to control those devices a little bit easier, ensure they're present for daily instructional use, as well as limit their usage and breakage of that device. And then this will also decrease the amount of local funds needed to repair and upkeep these devices, extending the life of those devices. And that will allow the district to maintain this with local funds and sustain it moving forward. The total amount of this project and upgrade is $1,739,254.25. We're asking for your approval to move forward with this project this evening.
Carson.
Move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for instructional technology purchases in the sum of $1,739,254.25 from Function 11 in the general fund.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Item D, discuss and consider approval of proclamation 2024 instructional material selection K through 12 science instructional materials.
Jason Merrick?
Good evening, President Hagemeyer, members of the board, Superintendent Crow, and Ms. Rogers. Wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about
the process that went through for adopting our new science curriculum through Proclamation 2024. We have new science teaks rolling out next school year, and with that, the state issues proclamations for us to go and be able to purchase new instructional materials for the adoption. So Proclamation 2024 is involving our K-12 science curriculum, our science CTE courses, so we teach forensic science and anatomy and physiology through the science department. Those students also get CTE credit for those courses. And then also the technology applications course is also part of this proclamation. All these materials will be implemented in the fall of 2024. So just sort of the timeline to let you know that this has been a process. It's been a long process we've been going through. Lots of great team members from everyone from our teachers and community has been part of this, and I'm very proud of where we are at and the decisions that were made. It started actually way before this with new TEKS, but just more recently, the state board approved the items that we could adopt in November. We went ahead and quickly got a team of teachers together. We also got some parents and also our community members involved. And we went ahead and through the process to here in March, where we're seeking action tonight for members of the board to approve the instructional materials. We want to go ahead and get that order in. The window for ordering opens up in May. We want to be getting that in there very early so we can get the materials as quickly as we can, so we can be training the teachers as soon as we get those materials in and delivered to us, so we can then implement in August with the new school year. So a little bit about the committee. So we had a core district committee that had 2 teachers from every campus as part of it that were the main decision makers and filling out the rubrics and evaluating the resources. Because we have 10 courses as part of the high school adoption, there was 3 teachers actually from the high school, or there's 2 from all the other campuses. And for Willis ISD first, we actually had 6 parents that we asked to serve alongside the teachers on the district committee. So they were right in there with the teachers, doing everything the teachers were, evaluating the resources, listening to publisher presentations, and doing the deep dive into the publishers' materials the samples they gave us. They were tasked with, they had training that they attended publisher presentations, they reviewed the community feedback, and I'll get into the community feedback in a little bit, and they rated each publisher based upon a rubric, making sure that interfaces, the hands-on interactives, the supports for teachers, the plans, and all those pieces that we needed for our teachers were in there. We also, not just the teachers on the committee, but we also went ahead and had samples delivered to every single one of our campuses. So all the teachers that teach science were able to provide us feedback, and many teachers did provide us feedback on all of the instructional materials. We also hosted here at central office several community open houses that we had parents go ahead and give feedback on publishers as well. We also had digital access available on the website, and we had communicated that through the communication department about how parents could log on and view the materials from home as part of the digital pieces of the curriculum. And we had several community members go ahead and visit the open house and also give us feedback through those digital options on the website. So based upon the rubrics from the district committee and the feedback from the teachers in the community, we went ahead and recommended adoption of the following for science. For K-5, the STEM Scopes Texas Science K-5. For middle school, STEM Scopes Texas 6-8. For the core sciences at the high school, we consider those the biology, chemistry, physics, and IPC. We are recommending STEM Scopes Texas for those courses as well. And then for the 4th year sciences, that's your astronomy, earth and space, forensics, MA physiology, and aquatic science. We're recommending the Savas/Pearson, same publisher, different names, different books, but we're recommending those for those courses. And then the last part of that is the Tech Apps course. We're recommending the Learning.com and ICVE. And we're asking for action tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the adoption.
I make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the Proclamation 2024 instructional materials selected as listed.
We have a motion by Ms. Traylor, a second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. E, discuss and consider reclassification of positions within the district. Mr. Whitman.
Thank you, Mr. President, Board, Mr. Crow, Ms. Carroll. We're coming to you tonight with 2 reclassifications that we're asking for. The first of those is reclassifying the Executive Director of Athletics and Fine Arts to Director of Athletics position. That position will no longer oversee fine arts. It will have head football coaching tied to that one. That's the first reclassification we're looking for or asking for. The second is reclassifying the district purchasing agent and safety coordinator to a senior buyer position. This position will focus totally on the purchasing procedures, the processing the documents, the purchasing documents. That is going from an exempt position to a non-exempt position.
Mr. Carson?
I'll make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the reclassification of the positions listed above.
I have a motion by Mr. Carson, second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, we are, we're working on getting, the junior high level, we're gonna have assistant AD coming up.
We will be visiting about any possible new positions coming up. We're gonna do that on Friday.
Okay,
Talk
great.
about different positions on Friday.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item F, discuss, consider approval of bid related to request for proposal RFP number 021424, serving line Parmley Elementary.
Good evening. As you know, we've been replacing, upgrading kitchen equipment throughout the kitchen, the campuses. So there's a need to upgrade Parmley right now, the 2 serving lines. We issued out an RFP on February 2nd, and bids were due February 16th. We received 4 bids, and the district is recommending bid for commercial kitchens, and the total amount needed for this project is $197,269. And then through your board book, I've attached a before and after picture that y'all can see what it looks like.
Done a really nice job.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir. I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to award the bid related to RFP 021424 commercial kitchen and approve the purchase of $197,269,000 from the child nutrition budget.
We have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Mr. Carson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item G, discuss and consider approval of lunch prices for 2023-2024.
So right now, we are getting audited by TDA, if y'all didn't know, so they come in here and look through all our books, look through everything we have to do. Mr. Crow gets a bunch of emails from TDA every day probably. So when we were going through our audit process, they stated that our lunch prices were not high enough. And on the back of that agenda item, it shows you there's a formula that what we have to do. So we are recommending to raise our lunch prices for adults from $4.25 to $4.50.
Mr. Carson?
Move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve increasing adult meal prices to $4.50 for lunch for the 2023-2024 school year.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Ms. Traylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item H, consideration of a possible action on proposed contract with Stantec Architectural to serve as architectural firm for elementary school number 7 project.
Thank you, Board. Mr. Crow. In 2022, the bond program included the design and the construction of a new elementary school number 7. In December of 23, the school board selected Stantec Architect to serve as the architect firm for the project. Authorized the superintendent to attempt to negotiate for the contract for the school board consideration and possible action. The proposed contract is presented to the school board for consideration and proposed action today. If you'll see there's the complete AIA contract agreement in your book that shows the agreement with Stantec.
The percentage is gonna be 4%, correct?
Yes, if you'll turn to section 2, page 35, you'll see, it's close to the back of the contract on page 35, you'll see the percentage that Stantec is presenting for this project.
How much cheaper is that from what we did last month? What kind of savings we're looking at?
Quite a bit.
I know. Appreciate that.
quite a bit. That's all I can say is quite a bit,
Yeah,
quite a bit of savings.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Jones.
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the contract with Stantec Architecture, Inc. for the elementary school number 7 project.
We have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item I will be tabled.
Yes,
Item
sir.
J, consider and possible action item to determine the construction delivery method provided best value for Bravo Middle School football turf field expansion project.
Yeah, the administration will provide an analysis for construction delivery method. After considering the availability of method, the administration has recommended the job order contracting utilizing the procurement cooperative as the construction delivery method, providing the best value for the Bravo Middle School football turf project.
Mr. Carson.
I move that the board determine that the job order contracting, utilization, and purchasing cooperative as the construction delivery method provides the best value for the Bravo Middle School football turf field expansion project.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. All those against? Motion carries 6-1. Item K, consider and possible action item to determine the construction delivery method providing the best value for Lynn Lucas Middle School football turf field replacement project.
The administration will provide an analysis of the construction delivery method. After considering the available method, the administration recommends a job order contracting utilizing the purchasing of the cooperative as the construction delivery method, providing the best value for Lynn Lucas Middle School football turf field replacement.
Mr. Carson.
I move that the board determine that the job order and contracting utilizing a purchasing cooperative as the construction delivery method provides the best value for the Lynn Lucas Middle School football turf field replacement.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-1. L, consider and possible action item to determine the construction delivery method providing the best value for elementary school number 7 project.
The administration will provide analysis of construction delivery method. After considering the available method, the administration recommends construction manager at risk, utilizing the one-step procurement of the request for proposal and construction delivery method, providing the best value for elementary number 7.
Mr. Carson.
Move that the board determine the construction manager at risk utilizing the one-step procurement of a request for proposal as a construction delivery method, providing the best value for the elementary school number 7 project.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item L. Item M, discuss, consider approval of ranking proposal in response to the district's request for competitive sealed bid proposals to provide construction services for the Lynn Lucas Middle School Fine Arts Edition project.
The district issued an RFP, competitive sealed proposal, CSP competitive sealed proposal for Lynn Lucas Middle School Fine Arts project. The district received sealed proposals. The administration will submit an advisory ranking, discussion, consideration for action. In your board book, you will see, I'm not sure if you have the bid tab that was received. If you are needing the bid tab, I can provide the bid tab for you. We received 5 bids for that project. 5 contractors proposed on that project. We met as a committee. We ranked the proposals. The ranking should be in your board book. But if you do need the bid tab, I can provide the bid tab for you. And then the ranking is there. The ranking was scored correctly. It was Nash was the contractor who was selected after the ranking.
So the motion really should read, I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve Nash as the
Yes.
contractor.
Yes, that is my fault for not including that in the documents I
What
have.
does the dollar amount end up on that?
Would you like me to read all the numbers?
I just need to know what,
What is the total dollar amount for Nash?
Total dollar amount for Nash.
$2,994,000.
Move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve the ranking as provided for Lynn Lucas Middle School Fine Arts Edition project and awarded to Nash.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item N, consider and possible action item to select and approve a contract with a contractor for the Willis ISD drainage to serve Willis ISD baseball field project.
The administration will provide the background on the purchasing cooperative utilized in the recommendation contractor action to be taken, which constructors. This project was using the cooperative method. We sent this RFP to 4 cooperative vendors. We received 2 bids from the 4. We solicited 4. We received 2 bids. I don't think that you have the bid tab in your board book, but I can provide the bid tab for you. The contractor that was selected was low bid, and that was BC Constructors. Also in the board book, I'm not sure if you have that, but I can provide that at a later time if you need, or I can provide it. It is the invitation that was sent out by the district and who received it. Everything, all the communications that were the addendums, all the emails, everything that was sent out to all 4 contractors will be provided upon your request.
Have you ever worked with them before?
BC Contractors, I have not.
You checked them out pretty thoroughly?
Yes, I have.
Good, great.
Yeah, currently they're working with Montgomery ISD right now. They do a lot of cooperative work with them, and they're actually building their current elementary school right now. And they do a lot of cooperative work, jock work. They do a lot of jock work for them. That's where the district got their recommendation to look for them, is they do a lot of work for Montgomery ISD.
Mr. Carson?
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the selection of the contract with the contractor for Willis ISD drainage to serve Willis ISD baseball field project as presented.
We get a price on that as well?
Yes. Their price is $401,664.
And that was we had to do some engineering on that, right?
Yes, this project been driven by the baseball field, the retention from the baseball field. So we actually brought in Spearpoint Engineering to design the detention for the baseball field, and this project is what spun off of it, is what the city is requiring us to do.
Yes.
This is being driven by the city of Willis.
Let's have a
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I appreciate all the hard work that y'all are doing in our construction and our safe construction program down here as well. Y'all are, this approval letter for the RS means, this is good stuff right there. I appreciate that. Appreciate the transparency on this as well. So thank you for everything.
Okay.
Mr. Williams?
What was the reasoning behind going with the job situation?
The city was only giving us 100 days to do this project. In order to do an RFQ, to do a CSP, instead of doing a CSP, we decided to go with a cooperative to speed it up by 30 days. the city was only giving us 100 days to complete the project. So we decided to use the cooperative method and not take so long to procure the project.
And who's gonna be managing the job?
I do.
Is Spear Point gonna be on site?
Yes, Spearpoint, in their proposal, they have a field coordinator that will be on site a couple of days a week or as needed.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item O will be tabled. Item P, consider and possible action item to select an engineering firm for the Brabham Middle School field turf expansion project.
Yes, the planning construction will provide the administration analysis as the most highly qualified firm based upon the demographic and the, can't see my contacts are messed up, I'm sorry. Qualifications, we'll share with the qualifications of the board consideration. The construction department is recommending Spearpoint Engineering to be the engineer for the Brabham Middle School turf. This project is a one contractor. We're not having to hire multiple trades. It's more civil work than it is anything. So we're looking at Spearpoint Engineering to look at the drainage part of this. This is the biggest part that we have to provide to the city of Conroe is our detention and how we're going to capture the drainage off of the fields. So that's the reason we're asking Spearpoint Engineering to come on and to help us with that calculation and to provide the documents needed to provide to the city of Conroe. And then during the project, we will go after this project with at least 4 to 5 bidders as well to procure the construction side of it.
And the price point on that one?
We don't have a price point yet. We have a budget for it.
For the engineer, how much do they charge?
Oh, the engineer, the price of the engineer was $10,535.
Thank you.
Mr. Carson?
I move that the Board of Trustees to select the firm of Spearpoint Engineering LLC as the most highly qualified provider of engineering professional services for the Brabham Middle School turf expansion project and authorize the superintendent to attempt to negotiate a contract pursuant to Texas Government Code 2254.004 and present the contract to the Board of Trustees for consideration and possible action.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item Q, discuss and consider approval of 2024-2025 regular school board meeting schedule.
As you know, the board meets the second Wednesday of every month, but there are 3 exceptions for next year. One being in August, because it'd be it's delayed 1 week because of the first day of school. One being in January, a week later due to winter break, and one being in March due to spring break.
Strader?
I make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve the 2024-2025 board meeting schedule.
We have a motion by Ms. Traylor, a second by Mr. Carson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Board member comments. We got anything? Just want to say thank you. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been going through the superintendent search process. I will tell you, I believe that it was 51 applicants, which was the largest number of applicants that they have had since 2020 of any job that they posted out there. So that tells us that a lot of people have done their research and want to be here. We're excited about that, and we're excited about the opportunity for all of y'all to work with somebody as they step into that new position. And we're doing our very best to make sure that it's someone that has our same core values and the same direction that we know you guys are working towards now. Not that we don't appreciate Mr. Crow, but I think he's ready to play a couple rounds of golf. So that's all I got. Appreciate everything y'all are doing.
Absolutely.
Most of you have not met someone that's in here. Some of you have. Randy? please come in? This is Randy Gay, our special ed director. I think most of you have not met her yet, and so she was able to make a board meeting tonight, and I wanted to be sure you knew who this was and who's in charge of our special ed department.
We heard you were the best in the state, right?
You heard right, yes.
Good deal.
We only hire about
Right. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Well,
We really appreciate it.
this is unexpected, but while I'm up here, I just want to say thank you for having me in Willis. It has been an incredible 5 months already. I'm so excited for y'all to see the tangible things we are doing. We're making strides, and I know our kids and our teachers and our parents are going to reap those benefits, so thank you so much for having me. And anytime, contact me. I'm excited to have conversations. If you have any questions, just reach out.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Randy. I'm gonna do it a little early, but Tom, I wanna thank you tremendously for the job you've done and continue to do. A lot of people don't know it, but back when we awarded the job to junior high number 3, I asked Mr. Crow, will you put the contract online where everybody can see it? He said, well, absolutely. Boy, would I ever, I would have never imagined what a big deal that would have been. It was huge. I'm gonna ask him to do the same thing with the Lynn Lucas. He's gonna have it online, so anybody at the committee wants to look at it, they're more than welcome to. And I just appreciate you always being there, Tom, like that. That transparency and that stuff goes a long way in the community, and I greatly appreciate this board does, and I know they do, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Williams.
Make a motion to adjourn.
So I have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Anybody want to discuss it? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.